Zen in the car, for the spiritually minded liberty activist on the go. Liketh, shareth, subscribeth. It's what the cool kids do.
So our next guest is, Ryan said he's been in this about 5 years, but my next guest has probably been in this 30 plus years, and she's a real OG in the cannabis industry. She's an original ganja gangster, and she's also the founder and director of the Georgia Cannabis Industry Alliance. My good friend Theresa Yarbrough.
For putting this together and for inviting all of these organizations to share in this event today. Thanks to all the veterans for being the original freedom fighters, correct? That's right. Well, I'm here to fight for them today and every day. I'm here to fight for freedom. I'm here to fight for the freedom for veterans to have the right to cannabis for medicine, for your PTSD and all the problems that your service has brought to you. I'm here to fight for our cannabis culture. As James said, I've been in this legalization business for over 40 years. And right now we're at a really critical time because our legislators here in Georgia have decided to get in the bill mill industry. And I'm talking about ALEC. I can't remember what if anybody knows what ALEC stands for, I can't remember right now, but it's American Legislation Exchange Council. And it's a privately owned business that supports our legislators coming in to these private meetings and being handed bills by lobbyists. I'm talking about the MSOs, the corporate people in the cannabis business, and we're just shut completely out of this. We're just not involved in this process at all. And so our organization is going to take on ALEC this year. And we're going to try to see if we can't get our legislators back into the business of working for the people and not for corporates. And when I talk about our culture, I'm talking about, I've been a pot smoker since I was about 14 years old. I'm 70 years old today. Not today, but this year. And we kind of like getting together with our tribe. Is that right? Yes. Am I right there? We like to get together with our tribe and do what we like to do. I'm not an alcohol user. I'm not opposed to alcohol and those who do participate in alcohol. But my thing's weed. I like to smoke weed. They like to smoke weed too. But I'm fighting for our freedom to be a culture. I'm not fighting for large corporate companies to come in and take over the business of cannabis. What we want to see with the Georgia Cannabis Industry Alliance, which is the state's first trade organization in cannabis, what I want to see is MSOs work with us. We don't care that they come in here. We don't care that they have the majority to have the biggest grow facilities and extractors and all that. We don't care. We really don't even care about that kind of stuff. What we care about is that our legislators give us something too. They need to be giving us home grow. Because there's a lot of us out here that are connoisseurs of weed. We have been smoking long enough that we know what we like. And all we want is a quality product, a quality price, and easy accessibility. That's what we want. And we also would like to see a cottage industry where if you can't afford a $10 million license, you can get a license to grow in a cottage industry with a license price that you can afford. But they're afraid that this is going to take away from them. Yeah. The corporates are afraid that by giving us home grow rights and caregivers rights and cottage industry rights, that's going to take some money out of their already rich pockets. But it's not. And I know you've heard this before. You can grow a tomato in your garden. You can grow okra. You can grow squash. But most people don't garden, right? And most people are not going to grow marijuana. But those of us who would like to should be able to. So that's what we're about. And we're about to, let me just show you a bunch of people here who are with us right now. Christopher Rayleigh. Christopher is on the Georgia Cannabis Retailers Alliance. And Ted Metz. Ted is a board member of the Georgia CIA. Dr. Uma is a board member of the Georgia CIA. Do we have any other folks here tonight? David Rodabaugh. David is on the board of the Georgia Cannabis Retailers Alliance, along with Kurt Hollums Jr. at Airport Bates. And I just want to give a shout out to Kurt too today, because he has stepped up to the plate and has provided us a great venue for us to have meetings and organizational things, as well as just parties. And I do mean parties, right, Dr. Emma?
Oh, I've been there.
So that's about all I've got to say. I just want to say that the idea that our legislators are catering to corporates and not to the people is not setting right with most of us. And we have told all the MSO people, they come to us and they say, we want what you got. Well, what are you talking about? We want your people. We want our employees, when they come to Georgia, to be able to mingle with you guys and party with you. Well, what are you going to give us? Well, what do y'all want? Well, we want home grow, we want caregivers' rights, and we want cottage industry. And they're just not willing to talk about that. So we're just going to have to get organized here. If other groups want to join us in some of our plans and activities, we would love to have any of you guys. And because it's going to take all of us, because we do have a big battle. And while I'm at it, I just want to mention another thing. I'm often asked why I focus on Georgia, and I'm laser focused on Georgia. And that's because we have different things going on down here. Like, for instance, we have hemp that is legalized in this state now. But we have hemp farmers who have already went broke in the few years that we've had this kind of legislation. And I see legislation coming in that's going to be trying to do away with Delta 8 and THCA and some of the other cannabinoids and acids and things that are present in marijuana and the flower. And down here, we have to create a different industry for our hemp people. We've got timber. We've got textile products that we need to be getting contracts for our hemp farmers. We need to be reaching out to and finding and locating these contracts to get our farmers in business. I mean, in real business, not just putting something in the ground and then letting it rot in the barn the rest of the year because we just don't have the contracts to provide for that. So we want to see infrastructure brought in here. We're going to try to build that infrastructure, and we hope you guys will join us in our efforts. We appreciate all of you, and we hope you have a good time. We hope you get high, and we hope that you'll join us in our efforts. Thank you so much.
Miss Theresa Yarbrough, thank you so much. Get involved with the Georgia Cannabis Industry Alliance. They're a great organization.
ZenInTheCar.com, powered by CannaSense Total Wellness. CannaSense Total Wellness provides lawful medical and recreational cannabis nationwide, delivered straight to your door. They have everything in their online apothecary from flour, vapes, topicals, and of course edibles. Join now for instant access to your medicine by visiting CannaSense.com and clicking Join Now. Be sure to put Zen in the car as your sponsor on the membership form, and for faster access, just scan this QR code thingy on your screen. Zen in the car for the spiritually minded liberty activist on the go. Powered by CannaSense.